Is Amazon a buy? That's just one of the many fun things I'm going to talk about today with my good friend Adam Mesh. My name is Michael Camo. I'm Director of Content for T3 Live. And it is time for our weekly live stream with my personal true American hero, Adam Mesh. So, Adam, how's everything going?
What's up, Mike? How are you?
I am hanging in there. So, I'm very eager, because we were texting back and forth before. You want to talk about Amazon. Now, I own Amazon. I'm like, should I buy more? It took a beating on earnings. So, what is the story with Amazon here?
So Amazon had earnings, traded down, and then kind of goes hand in hand with the market because Thursday the market had continued to sell off. The Qs were below 600, and then Friday we got that toughest market you could possibly have to trade, which is open up, trade higher. I hate those markets. Amazon had been as low as like 202, 203 that day. And it pushed back to 211 and change on Friday. Now, here's the interesting thing. I was kind of like turned around on Friday. I'm really not good in an open up, go higher market. I hate that kind of market to trade. But I thought Amazon could push towards its highs. I bought 100 of the 210 calls expiring on Friday for 14 cents. And Tasty Trade sold them for me at 330. I guess it did like a risk thing when it was at 207.50. Sold them for me for 10 cents. And it ran to 211. It would have been worth $8,000 on $800 risk. Then again, yesterday I bought Amazon when it opened down. I bought the 210s for 33 cents. It went up to the stock was trading at like 207 then. It went up to 212. Those 33 cents were worth $1.50, but I made like $1,000 on that move. So it's making some really good moves for traders. Now, the company fundamentally, I think the main story right now is that there is not a true AI threat to them, meaning another company that could replace Amazon with better use of AI or anything. And when I've spoken to some of the brightest minds, the biggest threat to Amazon right now is actually Walmart, is what people are saying. So, which is interesting because I guess it's just your own experience sometimes. I don't shop on Walmart. So is there anyone on here who does? Do you shop on Walmart? I'm curious, like, is it the same thing? Like,
Yeah,
Mike.
it is very similar. I mean, so Walmart also has that advantage of having everybody's credit card number stored. I do a lot of shopping at Amazon. I buy from Walmart maybe once a year, but Walmart is basically offering the same thing.
Um, it's just like shopping
Cheap
on
stuff.
Amazon. So what do you go to Walmart.com? I literally never go there.
Yeah, it's we're East Coast. I know I didn't see a Walmart until like I was in my 20s. So yeah, it's pretty much all the same. They pretty much have all the same stuff. So they have your credit card number stored. You go to the app and order stuff. So they kind of
They
have that same,
deliver. They deliver just as quickly.
pretty much. Yeah.
Do you ever shop on Walmart?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Oh,
Amazon?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it would take for people to change.
I all the only thing I know, I order like AirPods from Walmart like once a year. Like they're always on crazy sale around Black Friday. So if my AirPods die, I get them from Walmart. So it's interesting. So were you just asking like one of your kids?
My wife.
Okay, yeah. I mean, do you find that kind of basic real world feedback valuable? Because I mean,
Yeah.
I know that there's times where I missed, like I should have retired from. I'll give you a quick funny story. You know, Pokemon cards.
Sure.
So I remember there was a company called For Kids Entertainment. It was like publicly traded that sold Pokemon cards. And I remember at the same time there were 10 million kids on the New York subway system playing with Pokemon cards everywhere. and the stock went up like 4,000% or something. Like I should have retired off that. So like, do you find those sort of those real world observations valuable?
You want another one just like that?
Yeah, of course.
Crocs. Crocs. When people started wearing the gibbets on their
Hmm.
Crocs, and it was a trend, and you're like, "What is this?" And the stock was like a $10 stock, and then it's insane now. Like all you had to do was recognize that people were wearing it. $84. Yeah. Netflix.
Wait,
Netflix in the heyday. I mean, yeah,
wait,
absolutely. Like identifying mainstream usage. The key trigger is if you could recognize as soon as possible when a stock has become a verb, that's your get rich quick formula.
do you see anything like like that out there now?
No, no, no. I wish. I mean, does anyone else? Where's the chat? Is there
Okay.
anything that's becoming a verb lately that you're saying a lot and it's a company and we're missing it?
I
David said
mean,
his
like,
accounts on both Amazon and Walmart. Service is about the same, but annual fee for Walmart is way less. Walmart streaming cloud robot workers. Interesting. Um, Gloria, so this is the yeah, you got it there.
yeah, I mean, like, there's now. I think it's pretty much like ChatGPT, but and Claude, but everybody knows about those. You know, there's not much of a surprise there. Okay, um, so long term, you think Amazon's just fine?
I think Amazon's just fine until it's not, and I would still think it would move higher before it goes lower. You know,
Okay, all right. So I want to wind back to this options trade you did on Amazon on Friday. Now, like, are you looking for some kind of specific signal? Because conventional wisdom says, trading these really short term options is super risky. So what made you want to go for it?
that I wanted to take risk. I wanted alpha. I just wanted it. I wanted to move. I was already having a bad day, and it was $800 for me. It's because I thought I could make that kind of move on earnings the way it was trading, and
Okay,
and
all
I
right. I
so
think this is a very important topic, and not everybody wants to talk about it. Where sometimes you just have a feeling, and like I feel like everybody wants to over intellectualize everything and have this like very logical sounding sort of like politically correct answer that you have this perfectly rational trading process. But like, how often do you just get a feeling and act on it?
more often than I should. I think it's a weak part of my game, the feelings. I'm a much better strategic trader. Like the trades we put on in Mesh Prime are much better, much more disciplined and consistent. But I will say, I've been doing this for so long. On the day after, like once the earnings are out, you can get these stocks making kind of extreme moves. There is an extra oomph to that kind of trade. And so the Amazon move, it wasn't the idea that we could rally the way we were trading on Friday, the idea that we could rally into the close and have this pop up through its highs made sense. For me, the risk reward made sense because I was like, if we're going to keep going, this thing's going to go. And it only cost me 14 cents to get involved. It's $1,400. I did 10 contracts. I did 100 contracts. I did 80 contracts probably. 80 contracts for 14 cents. So it was like 1,100 bucks. Um, and I made money in Amazon at the end of the day. I made like $3,000 in it, but it should have been so much more.
Okay, does that bother you?
Yeah. That's just like, yeah, it's never enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
There's certain days though. There are certain days, very rare, where you just get it right, where you're in at the right time, you sell at the right time, and you watch it go down, and you're like, I did it. That was a perfect trade.
yeah,
And like,
because I've heard anecdotes um, of traders having huge days, and that could be 50, 60, $70,000, but they're pissed because they think they could have pushed it to 100 or 150 or something crazy. So do you think that sort of FOMO is just part of the game?
No, no, because when I say that to like Tom Sosloff, when I'll talk about, oh my God, if I would have just stayed in that, he goes, if you were on the floor, we'd slap you. Like you can't say that as a trader. Like there's a lot of traders that are like, who cares? Like you're in the trade, you're out of the trade. It's not what could have been. Stop. So no, not everybody's like that.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm like that with my whole life though. Not for the most part. I'm very impulsive, so usually I do whatever I'm thinking. But there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, if I should have just done that, or if I would have just done that. I like play backwards with like a sliding doors and a little detail different and how that would have turned out. I do it in trading, golf, poker, whatever it is, you know?
Poker, that could be a little dangerous. But I don't know. Sometimes like so I would love. I should actually talk to our mutual friend Sean Hendelman because I had an idea. Like if we gave traders like pick a dollar amount 10 20 $30,000 and just tell them trade it without thinking, like literally whatever feels good at the moment without thinking, don't think, just do it. And I always wonder how the results would turn out because like again, if most traders don't succeed, maybe the conventional wisdom that everybody spouts is incorrect. And I do wonder if some people just have a built-in natural feel for things,
I mean, I think I'm good at recognizing patterns and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I've been doing this for a long time. So, yeah, I guess some of the instincts work. But, like, I guess there's a difference between instincts and impulse, right? Maybe that's the difference. Instincts would still be you could be methodical. Impulse is just too much too fast.
So how do you sort of manage that within trading? Because if you're having trouble controlling it in other areas of your life, like once you put on the screens, there's money on the line. How do you stay in control?
So I think I'm better in other areas of life. I think in trading, the impulsiveness is where I'm the weakest, and the way I stay in control is by limiting my the amount I trade with. I make it a smaller account, so I can't do really stupid things.
So you have guardrails on.
Yeah, yeah. The amount that I'll lose on an impulse is much lower than it used to be. So, by the way, I think I should explain. Gloria asked us this message insider. We switched from the virtual trading floor to this format, which seems to be much better and people like it. So, hope you do too. I do. We do. So, Gloria, this is the new place for Mesh Insider. Last week it started. So, if you missed last week, that's why you're a week behind. Philip says, so when you take a position, do you have an expectation set of how much you want to make, risk reward? And if you surpass that mark, you continue to stay in until you get out. I would imagine that is what we shoot for, but also there are the impulse trades. Yeah, I think in every scenario, it's never feels like a 50-50 trade. It always feels like this could go or stay where it is or go down a little bit. So yeah, there is always, and then I'm looking for a target in terms of what I think could happen. Like I can tell you what I'm trading today, and it's kind of interesting. Mike, maybe someone could tell me what this is. I don't know what it is. But I got it from just like it was just showing unusual activity and up. So I started trading this JZXN, right? I don't know what it is, but it like jumped on my board. Like it wasn't in my top 25 active movers. And then it skipped over the top 24 and moved to number 1 right away when it crossed $2. So it just got my attention. And then when you start watching it, just the speed of the move sometimes says this thing isn't going to stop anytime soon. So I've narrowed down my position in it now, but it's just sometimes like stuff like that, just like watching it for the speed. And I saw some numbers, and I don't know. I always know there's more to it than just this. But so the company The company is worth. Let me just say. I'll just bring it up real quick. Here. Company is worth now. It's worth $3 million. It was worth 1.5 million this morning. Market cap. Okay, and they secured a $30 million investment from someone, and then there was some more news on it today, and it just seemed like the amount going into this company was a lot more than the market cap. So it was enough stupidity for me to say this could probably make an extreme move and get into that point where it starts getting halted and stuff, which it hasn't yet. I don't think. I haven't been watching that. I only have 1,000 shares now. Well, here, what's the news? I can't figure out what it is. I read it somewhere. One sec. JZXN. But EV charging, cryptocurrency, some kind of cryptocurrency initiative, 40 million crypto investment commitment, and a 30 million investment from Zenu Solar. I don't know what this is. It's just you see numbers like 40 million and 30 million, and the market cap's 3 million, and you're like, okay, something's weird here. So I'm not going to hold it overnight, because lately, anytime I hold one of these stocks overnight, they issue a raise. They announce some kind of like secured debt line, and the stock tanks. So whatever. Want to talk about the market? Dow hitting new highs, Mike?
Yeah. So this is kind of a strange year because, like energy stocks, consumer staple stocks like Pepsi are going parabolic. So how do things out there feel to you?
I think last year it was easier to identify which sectors you wanted to be in. I don't think I could name like a hotspot right now. It's waves. You had the silver wave, Bitcoin dropped. I don't know. I don't. What is the T3 community? Is there a sector that they love right now?
I mean, I
Silver,
feel
that
like
silver thing's kind of worn itself out a little bit, right?
yeah. So it kind of changes day to day. So right now, everybody's
Right.
obsessed with the software stock.
Yep.
So like last week, the IGV ETF hit record volume for its entire history. So a lot of people I would say overall did fairly well in finding the bottom in the software stocks last week. So that is the big topic on everybody's mind because it's like, is AI going to kill Microsoft and ServiceNow and Salesforce, et cetera, et cetera? So everybody's talking about software.
Yes, that's the conversation I keep hearing, that if you could use AI correctly and profitably, you're going to win. But if you're not using it the right way, you're going to lose. And that it really is more competitive than ever, this race, this AI arms race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny though, because like I look at T3, we have a million software subscriptions. Some of them we hate. And I'm not going to say it out loud, but I'm sure that there's one of that you also use that you can't stand. But like, it's really, really hard to rip any kind of software out of your system altogether and just replace it with AI. Like who wants to be the guy who vibe coded the new CRM, and when that goes down, like who wants to fix it? Like some off the shelf things. So I think it is very tricky.
Right. For now, but if they make it like using an iPhone, then everything will change. Like if all of a sudden like it's just much easier to do, which that's the way we always trend, then that will change. I use AI every day. I use ChatGPT every day.
Oh, so perfect segue. So what do you use it for?
I use it for writing, editing, just thought flow for work. Like sometimes I even just use it as a therapist. Not for trading ideas, if that's what you were thinking. Not yet.
No, so this is, I mean, I'm thinking more anything to do with trading because I've spoken to dozens of traders and investors, and very few of them are using AI for anything at all. I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of traders are very, very stubborn with, they have a certain platform they use, like, and they are not going to change anything for anything. Like, they lose their mind if the login screen changes on like charting
Right.
software. So like I'm not seeing, at least from like anecdotal discussions, people using I mean, a lot of it's, yeah, they're editing their text, they're writing things, but actually anything related to making money, it's like, I'm not hearing. I mean, if anybody in the audience is different, like, tell us how you are using AI in your trading, if at all, or what you want to see. So Adam, like, so if you could make ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or any of these things like do stuff for you in regards to your trading, like what would you want them to do?
Okay. Um, Tell me with certainty what's going to go up and what's going to go down. I
Well,
mean, like for the day, even use like any kind of advanced charting stuff to say this is a buy, this is a sell. It wouldn't work, because it's the public. It's like more like poly market. It's emotions. Trading is emotions. You can't um, use computers to control emotions. I don't think. And trading is an emotional sport. But I will say the company that bought my company created an AI trading platform. You know, um, but I don't listen. I hope it's great one day because I have an investment in it, but I don't use it right now. I could like here. You want me? It's like ChatGPT for trading. So right now the prompt is like compare AI and biotech industries, get started, and then whatever. I don't even know. I don't know. It would need to be addicting, and like it would have to say like, "Hey, this is trading," and do the math for me and say, if you do this trade, this is the most you can make, this is the most you could lose, and based on your trading account and everything like that, this is the ideal trade. I guess if you
mm.
ever started using something and you were having success and you could trust it and it was repeatable, it could work. You know?
Yeah, I have issues with the repeatable part because a, I have a whole bunch of random tasks that I use like ChatGPT for, but about 5% of the time it just breaks. And this is very, very basic stuff in with like rearranging text, doing calculating numbers. Like I've even seen situations where ChatGPT could not calculate an average of 10 numbers. Like I put the numbers in and I would say things like, okay, rank these from first to last, give me the average, the highest, the lowest, and it would get some of them wrong. Like that would happen fairly regularly. So for me, repeatability is a big, big worry. Or Philip is saying, where's my mouse? He's saying, I like using AI to research companies and specific info that may be affecting them, very dependent on the specificity of the prompt you create. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So like take a look at Nectar, NKTR. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is a company I have a position in. I had a position coming in. They announced after 4 o'clock yesterday that they were going to release their phase 2 findings. Okay. And this morning it was trading at like 37.38. And as the findings were released, the stock traded down to 30 in the pre-market. And 15 minutes later, it was trading at 43. And now it's at 53. And it made a 40 something percent move. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if AI could have said, hey, we think this stock might release news soon, you should look to put on a trade. Or if the news is good, if this is where we think it can go, versus this is your risk reward, something like that would have been helpful, in terms of that. Um, but I don't even know how that would work then, because imagine you had all that and the stock traded down 6 points first. You're not staying in it. Like if you put on 1,000 shares, next thing you know, you're down $6,000. You're like done with the AI. You're done with the trade. Like, so even if it's right, like the market's going to move. Um,
Yeah,
but like I wish
it
I had.
strikes.
I mean, you would have to do. I have friends that do crazy research to know like what that value should be, and even then, they're not always right. So
Yeah, I mean, it would like because there are so one issue I've always had with quant stuff is that like the market's always changing and there's always a million different factors affecting things. And like we can't if you brought in like the 10 smartest people in the world, they wouldn't be able to explain like if they would have all different answers for what's driving the market when. And it's like the factors are always changing. So, I
by the
mean,
way, they brought in the smartest people in the world to a hedge fund. It was the name of the book is When Genius Failed.
mhm.
Uh, and they brought in Nobel Prize winners and elite college professors and the smartest of the smart. And it did well for a while, and then it became an epic failure with the smartest people. You know?
Yeah, I did I remember I did a big project on long-term capital management my senior year of college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's basically, I mean, yeah, they brought in all these geniuses, these PhDs, and like they just didn't assume that anything crazy could really happen.
Right.
It's like you
But
you
it
could
always
invest.
does. But even on Thursday before the morning on Friday, right? The Qs were trading at 591 overnight. They opened at 602, hit a low of 598, and finished the day at 611. They never even got close to that 591 number, but overnight it was huge drop. Like I mean, yeah.
David is saying the market is like the weather. No matter how sophisticated the forecasting tools become, for both, they are still going to surprise you.
And Philip said, "Remember the turtles?" Yeah, I interviewed Michael Cavell. I did a whole thing with his book years ago, The Turtle Traders. Right, and I really think it is more about that. It's not about being a genius when it comes to the market. I think it's truly about the intangibles, like being disciplined, sticking to a plan. You definitely don't have to be a genius to be a good trader. You just have to be good at trading and forming a plan and sticking to a plan and staying disciplined. Just like everything else. Like, do you believe that there's different kinds of genius? People are a genius in different areas. Not everyone's good at everything, except Elon Musk or ChatGPT. But even Elon Musk isn't good at everything. He's still awkward, socially. So like, he's not perfect at everything. Although he's genius. I don't know. I think when I look at some of the best traders I know, um, they're no different than me or you. They just kind of have the right disposition for trading.
Yeah,
Emotional a combination of emotional risk appetite and discipline.
yeah,
You know?
I think personality is and probably even more temperament than personality. Just like the ability to not freak out when things are going wrong. I mean, even I think that alone might be. I mean, because I look at myself and I know I could never be a professional trader because I'm so emotionally volatile. And it's like, and it's interesting because sometimes I've even like traded against myself where I concocted some doomsday scenario for a stock and then realized I should actually buy it, not short it. Like I should not buy puts. I should actually like I've actually done that before.
That's funny.
And I just know like I know I'm not built for those short-term gyrations.
I think some of the best traders, you don't know if they're up or down when you speak to them.
I think that makes sense.
right? You know, right? Like, and I'll say, like, you had as part of T3, um, two guys who I like very much. Um, one is still in the game, Scott Redler,
Hmm.
and Scott is very routine, like one of the most routine people I've ever met, with like the water baths and the saunas and the workouts and his process every day. But he's also somebody that if you went to him and you went to get coffee during the day, you would have no idea whether he was up or down 20,000 based on how he was interacting with you. True or untrue?
So that's true 90% of the time.
Okay.
So I know exactly when. So Scott will get like, most of the time he's very, very even keeled. This is like 90% of the time.
Right.
And then
There's
when,
a lot.
yeah. And then when he's getting like giddy, like the spy probably has like another 3 or 4%. Like,
Okay.
and even
So
he
more if he's
recognizes
happy,
that.
if he's happy. But will you ever see him really upset about trading?
More like mild aggravation. He's never, like, I've never seen him like yelling or screaming or throwing stuff around. That has never happened.
And then you have another trader who's not there anymore, another legend, but talking kind of negatively, so I won't say his name. Um, and when I used to share an office with you guys, he would punch punch his fist through walls, break things. You would hear him screaming. Everybody would look up, and he's not doing it anymore. Like, you can't sustain at that level if you're going to be that emotional. I think the key to longevity is what Scott does. Are you sitting here trying to figure out who I'm talking about, or
No, no, I know exactly who you're talking about. But the funny thing is that same person, one of the nicest people I've ever met in this
I
industry.
started by saying they're both great guys. I was just talking about a trading percent. I really like both of them. Yeah, no, that's why I didn't even want to say. If I didn't like somebody, then I would probably say their name. I like him, so I was just more saying that and I'm kind of in the middle, more towards him. Like, I'm more likely to punch a wall. I don't anymore. I'm more calm, but I know that's my biggest weakness, which is why I have to trade with a smaller account, because I can, you know. By the way, it's
Yeah.
just like driving. It's like driving. Like, you tell yourself every day to stay calm when you're driving. Like, never react when someone honks and stuff like that. And for the most part, I'm good. Like, years ago, if someone gave me the finger on the road, I would want to follow them to a stop sign and try to fight them when I was younger, which is wrong. And then I go literally years without any issues. And then literally last weekend, my daughter was going to run into a coffee shop, and I tried to park, but there was no parking spot. So I pulled up in a loading zone, and I saw the security person walking towards me, and I didn't even want to roll down my window. I was like looking away, and he knocked on my window, and he rolls it down. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you can't stay here. And I said, there's nowhere to park. And he said, but you can't stay here. You're not, this is a loading zone. You have to move your car. I'm like, fine. So I'm already a little bit annoyed. And I look and I see there's a car going really slow and there's room for me to pull out. So I start to pull out and the car honks like 4 times and stops. And so now I honk 4 times, like, stop honking at me. He honks, I honk, and he's sitting there, and me, a 50-year-old man, idiot, jumps out of the car, right? And I start walking towards his car. And when I could see who it is, I realize it's my daughter's friend's father. And I'm like, hey, your son did a great job in whatever we're talking about. And he's like, were you just coming to fight me? I'm like, no. And I thought, like, I got away with it, like, I acted very excited to see him. And then my daughter said, she saw the kids, like, so, our dads almost road raged each other. So at least he admitted he did it too. But I'm like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Like, how do I slip like that? Like, you can't. And it's the same thing. It's really the same thing with trading. You could go and be calm, 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 normal, normal. And then one day you get caught up in a trade and it's going against you and you have money at your disposal and you're like, this is BS. This is going to turn around. So you start adding and adding and adding. The next day you have a horrible day. It happened to me on Friday. It happened to me on Friday. I was doing well all week and I wanted to capture a rally, but the market opened up. So I was frustrated. So then I was like, it has to go down. It still needs to finish this sell off with an exaggerated down move. I want to see capitulation. So I started buying puts, 598, 599, 603, 607, 609. And it was just like a day that wiped out weeks, you know? And like, that's just like the mental, you can't be like that as a trader.
But don't you think like it is important to have like ups and downs? Because I do like nobody wants to lose money, but I do think that also that's part of the excitement is the fact that you might lose and you know you can't have good days without bad days. Otherwise, I mean, because I do feel like if you made money every single day, like you obviously the bank account grows, but it would probably be boring and unsatisfying. Because I think humans are addicted to drama as well, and I do
No,
think
I think if you're a good trader, you're not going to make money every day for sure. But the less drama you have, the better trader you are.
which I know I agree with that, but I think it's like human nature is like people getting addicted to drama because you look at what people watch TV, and I'll even give some inside baseball at T3 with like the trading rooms we run.
Yeah.
People love nothing more than drama inside trading rooms. People arguing and babbling and talk like they complain, but they're glued to it. So I do think it is like it is a big part of human nature is trying to separate, you know, like those parts of ourselves because it's like you have to be rational when you're trading and seek the nonsense elsewhere.
I think, like, if you look, everything I'm saying, right, in terms of what I think is wrong with me, is when I'm left to my own impulses in like in a room by myself where I could do whatever I want. But for like my Mesh Prime service where I have hundreds of people live in a room following me that I know are reading the alerts. So like I'm like reputation on the line. I don't do that stuff. And I am the right way. So I know I could be different. You want to hear what we've done this year? Well, here's what we did. We said we don't like the market. We're going to be patient, right? The market sold off, and we said, okay, now it's time to trade. We put on a credit spread and match, and we closed it today. We collected 60, 70% of the possible max profit. Zero stress. Put on a bullish trade into the market sell-off, completely disciplined, with risk defined, got the move, closed it, effortless, no drama. Yeah, and so I guess what you're saying is, are we looking for some excitement in our lives with trading? Yes. Is that why I do a lot of the stuff I do? Yes. Is that correct? No. You should not be looking for excitement in your trading. You should not. You should be looking for excitement in other areas of your life. Trading should be boring, disciplined, routine. When you look for that, that's where you can get into trouble. That's just what it is.
I have to disagree a little bit, but
Oh man, Jeff just said that. Boring money buys adrenaline, toys, and trips. He's
yeah,
right.
I'm gonna screenshot that old man Jeff. You might see an email with that subject line. Um, but
Yeah,
like,
I love that. That was really creative. Yeah, we should keep that.
yeah, I do think it's like, what if being reckless 1% of the time makes trading like 20% more enjoyable overall. Maybe it's like one.
Making money year over year makes trading enjoyable. Even if you have that fun, if you lose, it's not worth it. Although I was just talking to Tom, and he was doing his silver trade, right? And he's a contrarian. So when silver started going up, he started shorting it. And he said, now I asked him, I'm like, what is the trade over? He's like, yeah, it's over. I'm like, so you happy? He goes, no. I said, what happened? He's like, I finished even. He goes, but I was down 7 figures shorting silver to break even. And I was like thinking like he's not happy, but right, that was the ride. He went on the ride. You know, I know what you're saying, but if you're evaluating your performance, right, that wasn't the way to go. Like it could have been done different.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the parental units at T3. I'm gonna see if we can get some funding. Like, we'll see how much money they're willing to give somebody and just say be reckless. Do all like basically as an experiment, fulfill your wildest urges, no matter how crazy they are, and see what happens.
Fulfill your wildest urges.
Yeah, like I want to buy SMCI calls, or I'm just going to put all the money in SLV puts because just as a curiosity for me, like I always wonder how much of this can be taught, and how much of it is just instinct. How many people just look at the charts and the numbers, and they just know.
It would be fun. I'd like to submit myself as a candidate for that.
Yeah, like
By the
you
way,
could be.
they came out with some numbers today that there should be. They think now they're factoring in 2 Fed rate cuts for the year. You saw that or no?
I did not see it. I've been not looking at any real market stuff today.
Do you know what it was before that?
I think it was one, but I'm not sure.
So
But
that would be bullish, right?
I see the home builders are up, treasuries are up, utilities are up. So
What happens now with the Dow? Now that it's new through highs, does it just keep going? Dow 50,000? What happens?
well, I'm not your magical AI tool for the future, so I don't know exactly. A lot of it's sectors like banks and industrials, energy stocks have been going through the roof. So that's why the Dow's done so well. So hypothetically, rate cuts might be the best for the Dow. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I knew. If I knew, I would not have a job. I would just be hitting the keys once a week and chilling on the beach.
It's fair.
All right. Okay, I think that is a good note to close on. So everybody, you can click. There's a link down in the description below if you want to get a free look at Mesh Prime. That's Adam's #1 service. Click the link down below to get a free look at Mesh Prime. So Adam, thank you very much. Always fun.
Mike, I really love these calls. I really do. I'm having fun with you. I like the topics. It's organized. It's good. And I'm just having a good time. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, Adam. All right. We'll be back next week, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.